Hello, this is Iron Pod, brought to you by Ghana Community Network Services, Ghana Oil Company Limited, GOIL, and West Blue Consulting, media partner, Business and Financial Times. Folks, this week we're going to hear from our stakeholders what they are targeting in the year 2018. But before then, we are reminding you that a lot of unethical activities that are being engaged by some stakeholders have come to the notice of the agencies that work in and around the port and maritime industry, and we will be engaging you on some of them. Let me take this opportunity to announce that the Port Authority is warning everyone that some individuals, unscrupulous ones for that matter, have decided to clone the website of the Port Authority. So there's a duplicated version of the website of the Port Authority, and they're asking unsuspecting importers to use that site. In the process, they end up duping you. That website, we will be showing very shortly what the forged, the cloned one is. Also, the Director General of the Port Authority himself, a number of his social media platforms have been cloned, and those people are asking people to pay them. Again, the people also are not relenting. The Iron Port official Facebook page has also been cloned, and they're asking all of you to be contacting them and all that business. All these people, we are going to pick them one after the other like we did last week. Caught those four clearing agents. The same is going to be done to these people. We will arrest them one after the other. In the meantime, be cautious. Do not deal with these people. Make sure you confirm from Customs, Port Authority, Ghana Shippers Authority, Standards Authority, Maritime Authority before you transact with them. Make sure you are dealing with the right agency. People, the stakeholders in the industry have been speaking about the year 2017 and what they hope 2018 will be. Take a listen.
The year 2017 was considered very eventful in the maritime industry as Ghana's ports began efforts to automate clearance processes. The new procedure plus other measures considerably improved port performance in the year 2017, though pundits believe a lot more lives to be desired. After ending the first month of the year, industry players are of the opinion that if efforts to correct a few challenges around the ports business are made, 2018 will be more fruitful than all past years.
We seriously hope for a very good look taken at the paperless intervention.
Dr. Nana Berima, chairman of the Greater Accra Regional Shipper Committee, said his outfit will meet more regularly this year to leverage a better atmosphere for importers and exporters to operate.
The onus also lies on us as leadership to also prompt government on certain things that are going on. Sometimes there might be some illegalities. You as a leader should not compromise. You should be able to stand firm and say, yes, this is what is happening, and you have to prove, or you have to, draw government attention so that the needed corrections will be done, so that businesses will also grow. And if the businesses are growing, it's the economy which is growing, and it's the country which grows.
Executive Secretary of Importers and Exporters Association, Samson Asaki, called for policymakers to review tax laws covering some commodities as against others this year.
Importers and Exporters Association wasn't against tax stamp implementation, not at all. What we were against was that extending tax stamp to mineral waters, bottled waters, carbonated drinks, canned drinks, or Fanta or Coke. I hope you are getting me. That it becomes a luxury.
President of the Ghana Institute of Freight Forwarders, GIF, Kwabena Ofosu-Appiah, expressed faith in the smooth implementation of port processes since entering 2018.
Proper review done. We go back onto the drawing board, see the kinds of realignments that can be done to make sure that the vision or what the Vice President turned into a blueprint is properly expressed on the ground.
The President of GIF assured of a thorough scrutiny of all procedures at all levels of transaction to maximize the facilitation of the country's business objectives.
We know that frantic efforts are being done behind the scenes to put in place a review team to take a holistic look at what went wrong. Yeah. So even though hope is not a strategy, we are seriously hoping for all these to take place in good time and as soon as possible so that we can reap the benefits of it.
Kwabena Ofosu-Appiah also entreated the public and stakeholders to allow claims of solutions to work.
If we want to do serious business, we need to set aside the stereotype so that we properly open up every claim, scrutinize it well so that when we pay for an intervention, we can sure bet that it will be delivering.
The stakeholders lauded the Port Authority's involvement with its clients when it comes to policy making, but called for a lot more collaboration among the stakeholders in 2018 to ensure the full attainment of results.
I applaud GPHA when they wanted to increase their tariff. I've seen a clear reasons why GPHA want to increase their tariff in 2018, but they started engaging in 2017.
As a leader, you cannot sit down and leave your people just like that. What you have to do as a leader is to prompt and then make sure that at least the negotiations are done so that those who are also doing businesses will also have their peace of mind in doing their businesses and paying their requisite taxes to the nation to also grow.
Dr. Nana Berima encouraged government to engage more with stakeholders to facilitate easier implementation of policies and help shape the fortunes of the nation.
There is always the need to consult the people for them to know exactly what they want, so that when the two meet, you can't just have a fruitful discussion, and at the end of the day, the two parties will then know exactly where they are moving their agenda to. But if there is no consultation in terms of stakeholder consultation, target group consultation, then it amounts to some sort of imposition, which in fairness, it is not good for business and for the running of every institution or a country.
Strategically, I would want, and that's why I am not happy that sometimes certain meetings go on at the presidency about import and export, and I sit here and I don't even invite me.
The industry players suggested that with changes in approaches to maintain integrity at Ghana's ports, new models will be necessary for a fruitful 2018.
A lot of expectations in the year 2018, as you may have heard from the stakeholders themselves. A lot have gone on in 2017, but a lot more to come in the year 2018. We only pray behind the port business that it will continue to grow and make our nation stronger and stronger economic-wise. Iron Port returns after the break.
Hello?
Good morning, this is Samantha Wendy. I am sending a purchase order from SA2 Ventures International. Our policy for new supplies is 2 containers to start with, but you must deliver within 30 days.
Don't worry at all. I'm going to get you the 4 containers within 30 days or less. Bye.
To get his pineapple slices from his country to his clients overseas, Mr. Appiah and his representatives have to complete a number of regulatory compliance procedures to various international trade stakeholders.
Hey, Baba, what's going on? Get it right? I mean, how?
Using single window, Mr. Appiah has completed all his international trade procedures through one portal. He has registered his company information, applied for the necessary permit, certificates and licenses, and all that remains is for him to get a text alert for clearance and movement of goods. And that's how simple facilitating international trade could be in a single window environment. You can offer competitive services to your trading partners in China, America, even here in a simpler, faster, and cost-effective way. Single window, the only way to Ghana's economic growth, is in our hands.
When cleaning your vehicle by valeting, steaming, waxing, or polishing, make sure the engine is also sound. Servicing your vehicle with Gold synthetic oil and any quality Gold oil massages the engine, removes deposit, protects it from wear and tear for longer lasting performance, and makes your vehicle feel pampered. Made for diesel and super engines. Remember, after every 15,000 kilometers of enjoying your ride, service your engine with Gold synthetic oil.
We're a champion. That's why I, Azuma Nelson, 3 times world boxing champion and a patriot, always choose Gold.
Ashene Pankasa. GOIL, good energy.
Welcome back from the break. News and activities around the port and maritime business next.
Officials from customs in Ghana and around the world have been urged to focus on creating secured business environment for economic development in national and international economies. Speaking at a just-ended International Customs Day celebration marked in Ghana, a Deputy Minister of Finance, Kweku Kwarteng, said customs should seize opportunity of the celebrations to reflect on riding economies of impediments like corruption, reduce clearance time at borders, and removing barriers to trade.
International best practices should be applied in examination of goods while applying modern technology and moving away from intrusive to non-intrusive examination with the introduction of post-clearance auditing and risk management mechanisms.
The Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Emmanuel Kofi, added that the day offers customs opportunity to take stock and plan how they can impact economies going into the future.
It is my hope that you will focus on the role you play as customs officers and how it creates a secure business environment for economic development.
Commissioner of Ghana Customs Isaac Krensel, in a speech on behalf of Kunyo Mikiraya, Secretary General of World Customs Organization, urged members of the service to enable businesses thrive by stabilizing and streamlining procedures, tackling corruption, enhancing integrity, and facilitating cross-border movements of goods.
Combating cross-border crime, including the illicit funding of international terrorism through trade activities, is our responsibility, and one that Customs takes seriously in its effort to secure a safe environment.
Director of Tema Port, Edward Osei, lauded efforts by Customs in facilitating trade in Ghana.
So at GPHA, we are not only making sure that goods born for Ghana comes to Ghana, but also goods that are going into our neighboring countries like Togo, Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso all comes to Tema Port, and from there goes to the various countries. When we do that, obviously, more revenue accrue to the government of Ghana.
Other service providers pledged their support to customs to promote effective trade in Ghana and around the world.
GCNet remains committed to deepening this partnership with GRA, especially the Customs Division, and to foster a business environment which is secure.
We pledge our total support to all developmental plans, actions, and strategies adopted by the government of Ghana and its agencies to make us build a secure business environment.
Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Ghana Shippers Authority, stakeholders, and customs officers who immensely contributed to the work of customs to obtain impressive results in growing the economy were awarded certificates from World Customs Organization.
The TAKORADI port has entered into agreement with ZEAL Environmental Technologies to ensure that its marine environment is not polluted. Having obtained the International Standardization Certification (ISO), TAKORADI port has a policy of zero tolerance for pollution from vessels calling its waters.
One realizes that not only is the port of TAKORADI only interested in berthing vessels and facilitating trade, we are also interested or very conscious about the environment. That is why we have partnered or licensed ZEAL Environmental to ensure that as we stimulate the economy of Ghana and the landlocked countries of Niger, Burkina Faso, we do it consciously with the environment in mind.
The partnership between ZEAL Environmental and TAKORADI Port is already yielding great results, following an establishment of a waste recycling facility at that port. The facility allows oily sludge water to be taken from vessels that come to berth at the port and discharged into a 32,000-litre pond, where the waste is segmented into three parts: oil, water, and solid.
Discharging it into it, we have the waste separating into three phases. We have the oil phase, the water phase, and then the solid phase or the sludge phase. The oil, we skim the oil into tank 21 and tank 20, and we use the oil for to fire boiler systems, and then also a sologram preparation.
In addition to the waste recycled plant, the partnership has also produced the automated tank cleaning equipment used in cleaning the tank farms at the port of Takoradi and the nitrogen production facility used to blank the surface of the tanks before cleaning to avoid any explosion.
GPHA has given us the license to manage all the annexes for the MAPOD 73-78 treaty for them, and this is one of the annexes, that is oily waste, sludge, bilge water that we do take from vessels that berth at GPHA. That's how we where we treat it and where we manage it.
The Workers' Union of both Tema and Takoradi Ports of Ghana have honored the Director General of Ghana's Ports and Harbours Authority, Paul Asariansa, for what they describe as excellent cordial relations between him, the union executives, and the workforce at large. The union executives demonstrated their appreciation by decorating Paul Asariansa with a rich native cloth. The executives disclosed that the Director General's approach towards the workforce motivated them to put up their best in the previous year, leading to significant improvements in the port's performance in 2017. According to the executives, the Director General of GPHA, when in acting position, took some firm decisions and supervised impressive reforms in the interest of the authority to maintain its lead in the sub-region.
From last year to date, your existence and your assumption into the office has really been a blessing to the workforce of GPHA.
During his supervision as the boss of GPHA, Paul Ansa initiated a renewed relationship with the transit countries, leading to considerable improvements in the transit trade. He also initiated a new agreement to build a major multi-purpose terminal at the port of Takoradi by Abiste Crawley and injected an amount of 13.3 million Ghana cedi into the Tema shipyard to enhance the yard's productivity. The union executives touted that the Director General's recognition as the PR personality in 2016 and subsequent acknowledgement as the second best performing CEO has brought a lot of glory to the organization, hence deserves commendations.
Whatever support that you need from us, we are ready to give you in this direction.
Even as an acting DG, some of the things you showed us, we want to say we appreciate it. That is not to say that we will be expecting too much, because now you are in the full capacity as a Director General. To borrow your own word, that you are going to make our union one of the best.
The union executives praised the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, for his vision to confirm the DG and expressed optimism he will not disappoint. The Director General of GPHA, Paul Asariansa, expressed his profound gratitude to the union executives for the honor and kind gesture and pledged his commitment to working assiduously with the workforce to promote GPHA not only in the sub-region but globally as well.
We are expanding the business. We are expanding our capacity. We are expanding we are diversifying into new areas that will bring more business to us, so that the private operators who are working with us will also be fulfilled.
The Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority has licensed 3 new shore handling companies. The companies are Modidis, Ocean Line Limited, and Crown Container Services Limited. The companies will take over the rendering of receipt, storage, and delivery services at the Tema Port. At an engagement to introduce the new companies to stakeholders, including shipping lines, customs, and freight forwarders, the monitoring manager for GPHA, Nico Yamasa, expressed that the new companies have been licensed to take over from GPHA, who have been rendering the service in the interim. He also stated that operation for these 3 companies commences on the 22nd of January 2018.
New companies have been licensed to carry on the services that were being provided by Red Sea Maritime Services. It is just very fair that you as stakeholders, shipping lines, transitors, freight forwarders, customs, you should know who GPHA has officially licensed to operate, to interact with them.
Jim Nabdaisy, the Fire and Safety Manager, admonished the new companies to exercise a high adherence to safety regulations to make sure unfortunate incidents in the port remains absent.
This time around, we all collaborate to prevent accident and incident from happening.
The Port Security Manager, Joseph Ponaman, charged the new companies to follow security procedures very keenly.
Because most of them come inside the port and do wrong things. So, like pilfering, stealing will not be accepted in the port.
Gavin Amavi, Corporate Monitoring Manager, who is also the ISO coordinator for GPHA, entreated the new operators to comply with international standards of operation.
We have come out with Occupational Health and Safety Manual and the policy of the organization, GPHA. We're going to roll it out and everybody will have to comply.
The 2002-year group of the Port Security Department of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority have donated cash and some items to families of security personnel who passed away in their line of duty. This was organized and supported by the entire Port Security Department in their bid to honor the memory and motivate the single parents to continue the legacy of fallen colleagues. Some of the items donated include rice, oil, and drinks. The 2002-year group employed by the Port Authority on 17 June 2002 comprised of 217 personnel, with 10 of them having lost their lives in line of duty. The Principal Marketing and Corporate Affairs Officer of Tema Port, Nanesi Soderberg, expressed hope that the gesture will be a symbol of encouragement to the security personnel.
I'd like to take this opportunity to motivate them. The job is never easy, but they've been putting their best in, and we pray that they continue to do so. We will do our best to remember them as time goes on.
Officers of the port security urged others to emulate the gesture to motivate personnel to give up their best in service.
We will advise that all the intakes, not just 2002, will emulate this. It signifies unity to us.
The CIMG Petroleum Company of the Year and the only oil marketing company with marine gas oil tanks at the port of TAKORADI and the secondary naval base supplying vessels with fuel has donated food items and some toiletries to the Teshi Orphanage and the Accra Rehabilitation Center. The donations were made by Gold's brand ambassador and three-time world boxing champion Barima Azuma Nelson. The items include 6 bags of rice, 4 gallons of oil, 8 cartons of assorted drinks, 6 boxes of drinking water, 3 packets of biscuits, 1 box of soap, 2 cartons of milk, 3 buckets of margarine, 3 packets of tea rolls, and 3 cartons of tinned tomatoes. In addition, Gold donated to the Accra Rehabilitation Center, a government institution under the Department of Social Welfare which trains persons with disabilities in carpentry, tailoring, shoemaking, and craft work. Items donated includes bags of rice, gallons of oil, 2 cartons of milk, 1 bag of sugar, as well as bags of maize, beans, and gari. The Public Relations Officer of GOIL, Robert Reyes, said the gesture forms part of Gold's corporate social responsibilities to support the vulnerable and less privileged in society.
GOIL has decided that it is our duty to help the vulnerable and the needy, and Accra Rehabilitation Center is one of them. At the end of the year, as part of our corporate social responsibility, we have decided to donate to many of these institutions to help them, to assist them in their time of need. This is part of what we do at GOIL. We help the people in need and the vulnerable.
Mozambique port of Maputo saw its total volume surge by 22% in 2017 as the port moves towards welcoming even larger vessels in 2018. The port handled a total of 18.2 million tons of cargo during the year against 14.9 million tons seen in 2016, while the number of vessel calls dropped from 955 to 896 in 2017. However, although the port received 59 less ship calls, it saw 3.3 million of cargo more than a year before. The rise was mainly attributed to the completion of an access channel dredging project in January 2017, allowing for larger vessels to sail to the port. Authorities in Kiribati, the Austria-Asian island, have confirmed that about 80 passengers and a crew of 5 were on board the ferry Butirayo when it sank on January 18th. 7 survivors were rescued by the New Zealand Defence Force on January 28th. The search continues for a life raft that was launched from the sinking ferry. According to Maritime New Zealand, the life raft is designed for 25 people, but more can be squeezed in uncomfortably. Rescue Coordination Centre New Zealand is supporting RCC Nadi in Fiji, which is leading the search with the Kiribati authorities. According to a new report by UNCTAD and the National Board of Swedish Trade, full potential of European Union free trade agreement remains untapped to the tune of almost 72 billion euro, equivalent of $89 billion. The two bodies explained that this is the amount European exporters overpay because they do not take full advantage of the reduced tariffs offered by the FTAs that the EU as a bloc has signed with a variety of both developed and developing countries.
Hello. Good morning. This is Samantha Wendy. I am sending a purchase order from SA2 Ventures International. Our policy for new supplies is 2 containers to start with, but you must deliver within 30 days.
Don't worry at all. I'm going to get you the 4 containers within 30 days or less.
To get his pineapple slices from his country to his clients overseas, Mr. Appiah and his representatives have to complete a number of regulatory compliance procedures to various international trade stakeholders.
Hey, Baba, what's going on? Get it right? I mean, how?
Using single window, Mr. Appiah has completed all his international trade procedures through one portal. He has registered his company information, applied for the necessary permit, certificates and licenses, and all that remains is for him to get a text alert for clearance and movement of goods. And that's how simple facilitating international trade could be in a single window environment. You can offer competitive services to your trading partners in China, America, even here in a simpler, faster, and cost-effective way. Single window, the only way to Ghana's economic growth is in our hands.
When cleaning your vehicle by valeting, steaming, waxing, or polishing, make sure the engine is also sound. Servicing your vehicle with Gold Synthetic Oil and any quality Gold oil massages the engine, removes deposit, protects it from wear and tear for longer lasting performance, and makes your vehicle feel pampered. Made for diesel and super engines. Remember, after every 15,000 kilometers of enjoying your ride, service your engine with Gold Synthetic Oil.
We're a champion. That's why I, Azuma Nelson, 3 times world boxing champion and a patriot, always choose Goil.
Ashwini Pankasa. Goil, good energy.
And schedules of vessels in the port, those at anchorage, those expected in the coming week, plus the Bank of Ghana exchange rate you need to know to clear your goods from the port are all next on your screens. And that should be it for this week's edition of Iron Port. We hope we have been able to bring the port activities closer to you and also you closer to the port activities. A lot of thanks goes to Belinda Decker, Lawrence Gazy, Joe Lavo, Joe Bone, also Robert Nyantechi, Godwin Kabute, Solomon Anderson, Minta, the driver man, and also executive producers Abena Sewa Opokufosu and Esther Jebidonko. Thank you for watching the program.